A new study from Career Builder shows almost half of all workers don't negotiate some of those job offers. VP of Corporate Communications for Career Builder, Jennifer Graz, is here tonight to talk about why so many workers are leaving money on the table at this point. Welcome.
Thank you.
All right, so let's talk about this. You've got an interesting number here. 49% of workers do not negotiate that salary. Why aren't they doing it?
You know, part of that could be attributed to inexperience, where they figure if they're new to the workforce, they've got to accept the first offer. Typically, more seasoned workers are going to be a little bit more adept at negotiating and bartering over that value that they bring to the organization. I think it's also reflecting what's happening in the market today. A lot of people unemployed, they're looking to jump on that first opportunity because they need income.
And then the other interesting number, the other side of this, is that you said that employers, when you ask them whether or not they expect people to negotiate a salary, a lot of them said yes.
Yeah, almost the same amount said, you know, we're willing to, and we actually expect to negotiate salaries. So if you have an employer that's willing to pay you $60,000, that employer might actually offer you $55,000, so they've got a little bit of wiggle room because they think you're going to come back and ask for more money.
Sure.
If they start with a $60,000, they've got nowhere to go. So just something to keep in mind.
Take advantage of it. So, okay, you've got some tips on here. Let's start with the don't. Don't feel pressure to give a specific salary amount that you're looking for. You're saying don't do that? Don't give a specific number?
Yeah, you don't have to do that. If they ask you for that on the application, you can write negotiable. If the employer asks you for that during the job interview, you could turn it on the employer and say, well, what would you typically pay somebody with my skills and experience? So then you can react to the range that they're giving you.
Because maybe you give them a number, but they already had in mind maybe a higher amount than what you were thinking. So you don't want to give up on that money. Don't assume the first offer is the final offer. Pretty self-explanatory.
It is. Sometimes it's a final offer, a lot of times it's not. So you want to make sure that that the offer that you're taking really reflects what you can bring to that organization.
Okay, and another one here, don't let ego get in the way of your negotiations. What do you mean by that?
You know, if you're being unrealistic about salary expectations, if you're asking for $30,000 more than they're willing to pay you, or say that you're very combative in the way that you're communicating with that employer, it can actually work against you, and sometimes they can withdraw the offer. So you always want to be very diplomatic in your approach.
Yeah, I think one of the more difficult things is that you're basically negotiating with somebody who is your boss, so you don't want to be too tough with them. When you're at the negotiating table.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. So you always want to show that you're appreciative of that offer, but you also want to make sure that you're making a strong case for why you should be paid more.
Okay, so let's move on to the do's. Do come armed with third-party market research, and you have highlighted some interesting websites here that we should check out. Tell me about this.
Yeah, I would take at least 3 different sites, information from 3 different sites. You know, you can look at the Bureau of Labor Statistics, cbsalary.com. There's a lot of online sites that provide information on what a particular position will pay in your geographic area. Good to come to the table with that documentation. It helps to make your case.
Okay, and next on the list, do look at the whole package, meaning benefits, time off, vacation.
That's right. It's not just about the money. The money's important. We have to pay our bills, but you also want to look at, are there other things that are attractive about this employer? Do they have great learning opportunities? Do they provide academic reimbursement? Do they provide a really good work-life balance? Those are things that will also be important, so you want to look beyond the paycheck.
Are a lot of the employers more willing to negotiate on those aspects of it rather than the money, meaning that maybe you're looking for an extra $10,000, you can't get that, but you can get an extra week's vacation?
You know, we do hear from employers that if they're not willing to meet the desired salary, that they are willing to negotiate in other areas. So some of the things that they talk about are providing flexible work arrangements, allowing employees to telecommute, getting a little bit more vacation time. We've heard some examples where employers have actually given somebody a higher title or an office. So, you know, I would explore your options.
Okay, which leads us right into the last one, to explore other factors that you can negotiate, which you just talked about.
That's
Thank you so much, Jennifer Graz with Career Builder. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right.